Hi guys, Toasty Ninja here. Welcome to episode 2 of my Open TTD series. This time around we're going to be looking at some basic sort of industries, what they are, and what they supply, so you can sort of know what you're going into. In the screen there's a couple of different ones, as you can see on the screen here. There's cities, power stations, things like that. The one I like to start with is usually coal or iron. This is a coal mine here. Obviously produces coal. Coal is to be transported to a power station like this. What it does is it doesn't produce anything. It just, you take the coal from the power station. That's it. Straightforward, easy money. If you can set up multiple ones to the same station, at a power station, then you're in for a winner. There's also iron ore. This has got 3 stages. Iron ore is taken from here to ironworks or steel mill. Now what it does is it melts this down into steel. Now the steel can be transported to a factory. You can leave it as just taking the iron ore to the steel mill, or you can sort of produce it and make a chain. What it does is you take the steel from the steel mill to a factory, which I don't think there's one here, is there? Oh yep, there is. This is a factory. And then it produces goods which then are taken to the towns or cities. Now factories will take 2 types of things. They'll take farm goods and they'll take steel. A farm produces 2 kinds of things. There's a farm. It produces livestock and it produces grain. Now you need different carriages. You need like a truck or a train carriage. Different ones for livestock and different ones for grain. And don't need my finances because I'm losing money. I already know. They take that there. They produce goods as well. That's a one-way one. Take it from one to the other, job done. And then of course same with goods and steel. Steel produces goods which are then taken to cities or towns. You need a truck stop or a train station in a town that will accept goods. You can check that by clicking the town name, and it'll tell you if they'll take them. Am I right? No, I'm talking rubbish. You have to put. That's what you have to do. You have to go to place a station. So a lorry station, and it'll say accepts mail goods, and it supplies mail. So you can take, goods to a town and make a bit more. So you can have the whole chain, iron ore to the steel mill to the factory to the town. You can have a whole chain of that, and it'll make you pretty good money as long as you're supplying the whole chain enough. Mail's another thing, and passengers. Passengers are another kind of cargo, I suppose you can take. They go from town to town. Same with mail, it goes from town to town. You need truck stops for mail, but for passengers you need a bus stop, and you can buy buses. But trains will take both. You just need the right carriages on the train, and they'll collect them at the station in an area. As long as will take each one. If something won't take a good you're transporting, it will just pile up and pile up and pile up and pile up, and you will lose your money. You'll not make any money unless you've got a transfer order set up. But again, something we'll deal with when we sort of go into the lines of transporting goods. Another one you might have saw was oil fields, or oil wells. I always call them oil fields. 90,000 litres of oil. Great. Oil thinks big money. This is the oil well in the centre. Now the nearest oil refineries are here and here. Now it's a lot of travel. 90,000 litres of oil, not a lot. If I remember rightly, the tankers for the trains only hold 30,000. That's only 3 tankers on the back of a train. Okay, the distance pretty good. It will refill, but your train could be sitting waiting to get filled up for quite a while, unless you've got it set to take cargo. If it just takes what's there, then you will have a smaller steady stream. But you want a one that's producing a large amount of oil, so you can just constantly have large trains going and make large amounts of money. You can wait for money to trickle in. I find it elongates things that could take no time. If you've got large trains with large amounts of cargo, you're looking at large amounts of money in one go. You can do a lot more development, and then eventually you get a constant stream of money just pouring in. You can do with what you like. Again, oil wells produce oil which go to the oil refinery, which produces goods. It doesn't produce petrol. It produces goods which go to the town. Assumingly it will be petrol. We all know how oil works, but it produces goods which have to be transported from there to the town. This one's nice and close to the town, so you can set up a wee truck, 1 or 2 trucks taking the stuff back and forth, depending on how much stuff it's got coming in. This is a sawmill. It produces goods as well. The final product of most things is goods that you then transport to the town. You know, you need forests for goods. Now, I've blanked off the trees so forests don't get lost. This is a forest here. Produces wood. You can use trains, trucks, the usual. Some planes will even take certain goods if you refit them. You know, take that to a sawmill. Produces goods. You know, deliver the goods to the town. Job done. I don't think there's anything else. They're all pretty straightforward, aren't they? Because I've started in, you know, the 1940s. There's none yet, but you will get oil rigs, which again use oil tankers to deliver, you know, the oil from there to the refineries. It is a better option than taking it from the oil wells. You know, larger quantities. They're a bit slower, but they do make a large amount of money. So they're more likely to be fully filled. They're going in between, so your running costs aren't so bad. You can also helicopter, again later on, helicopter passengers from towns and things to oil rigs for, you know, more money. So I think if there's any other industries I've maybe missed out, but I don't think I have. There's the bank. Is there time in the bank here? I'm trying to find one. This could take a while, so I might cut this and I'll come back once I find a bank. Right guys, finally I found a fucking bank. This one here is a bank. Okay, now if you select it, it's got bags of valuables. This is another industry, depending on what map you play, will change. But what you do is, in this one you have to take valuables from one bank to the other. In the desert one and the snow one, it's like gold and diamonds go to the bank, and I can't remember, I think you can maybe transfer valuables from them as well. But in this one, in this case, it's bags of valuables between banks. I mean, there's one in this village, or town I should say, but I don't know where the nearest one is. I mean, it took me a long time to find one. I don't even think there is one anywhere near. You know, maybe later in the game there might be more, but you could be, you know, you couldn't just run a whole business off this unless all the towns had banks. You'll be struggling to make any money. You know, I think that's all of them. I mean, my personal favourite ones to start with are coal and iron. You know, some of the best places to maybe start are places where there's like several, you know, industries. Like this one here, there's your three. There's 1, 2, 3. I mean, 126, 160. It's only 72 tons, but you know, what I usually do is set up a station, have the trucks taking the stuff there, delivering it. And then one big train goes to, you know, a station, a power station to deliver the stuff. That way, you know, okay, the trucks only take small amounts, but you're taking small amounts from a lot of places, so you can make full train loads. And if one station is struggling, the other 2 stations can, you know, make up for it. I find if you have a station running from each one, like if you had 3 trains running from these ones, you would lose a lot of money. You know, some wouldn't make enough, some would, you know, be waiting with loads waiting to be picked up. If you're transporting all to one lot, you can run maybe 2 trains on the same line, delivering stuff back and forward, and still be constantly turning over money. Even if 1 or 2 of them aren't making as much as the rest, you can still constantly have a large amount of stuff going out. You know, same with iron. Same with farms. You know, you can't do it, but it does get quite complicated because you've got 2 lots of things. Some farms, I mean, look at these 2 farms here. You know, one's producing 144 of livestock, 63 tons of grain. You know, 1 or 2 trucks for grain, 5 or 6 trucks for livestock. Whereas this one's 81 tons of grain, 90 tons of, you know, items of livestock. You know, tons of livestock. You know, it's only a couple of trucks for each one. It's not making enough to run a whole train off, or it'd be a mixed train. Whereas the other one, you can maybe run, you know, 1 full train of livestock and maybe a small mixed train of grain and livestock. You know, it's all about sort of tying up what you've got. I mean, in the next episode, what we're going to look at is setting up a really basic basic business, you know, and running, making a bit of money and running it, and maybe expanding it a small amount. Try to show you some of the different sort of aspects we've got as well. But hopefully this has been helpful, guys. If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel. There'll be more of this coming out, and the next one we're gonna you know, do some business building. If you liked the video before this, if you've not seen it, you should go and check it out. It's real basics of starting a game up. You know, I'll go over it quickly, sort of the basics in it as well. Thanks for watching, guys. As I said, if you like my channel, please subscribe to more content, and I'll catch you next time.